Okay guys, we're beginning the start of the Make Able challenge. First things first, don't panic. I know how overwhelming these things can be. I've been doing design projects like this for years now, and I still find the beginning of the design process one of the hardest parts. There are so many potential avenues you could go down, so many potential different products you could make. How are you supposed to work out where to begin? Well, lucky for you guys, we've designed the toolkit for you so we can break this whole process down one step at a time. And for us, the start of that process is inspiration. I think this is something that's really overlooked in most people's design processes, because if you're not inspired by the project you're doing, you're not going to do good work. So for me, I spend quite a bit of time at the very beginning of a project really immersing myself in the subject matter and finding what it is in that subject matter that particularly interests me. So I've been looking on the Make Able Challenge toolkit for a while now, and one of the videos that really stood out to me was the Enable prosthetics. I'm an engineer by heart, so anything with small intricate mechanisms is always going to be up my street. So what I did then was jump onto YouTube and start looking into different companies that create 3D printed prosthetics and just get a general idea for the industry at the minute. Whilst I was going through, I was making notes on some of the things that I'd found, and there were some really interesting insights. The prosthetics traditionally were always uncomfortable and never really were perfect for the people. But now, with the dawn of 3D scanning becoming a lot more affordable, a lot of smaller companies have got into this field and made some real leaps in innovations. So another thing that's dawning on me doing this research is how hard it is for big companies to create products for assistive technology, and how many of the products that are actually out there on the internet are done by people like me and you, who can make bespoke products for very specific niches. It's also really cool to see how many of these people will take existing products that other users have created and modify them to fit their specific needs. It's made me think that whatever I design moving forwards, I need to make sure that it's as easy for the next person to modify as possible. So some of the things I've noted down that I could do to help improve that process is potentially making my product modular, so that people can add and take away things that they need or don't need. Also make it easy to assemble and disassemble by using standardized hardware like screws and bolts rather than gluing things together permanently. Again, two really interesting insights that have just come from general research into this field. So I've switched over to doing some research on Pinterest now, and it's really interesting how when you change what you're researching with, the insights that you get from it changes. So Pinterest is also a really aesthetic website, and it got me thinking about how traditionally assistive technology is always just utilitarian. It's never aesthetic. And it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So I think this is something I'm going to try and take forwards with my project, and I'll try and get a bit more insight into what they like aesthetically, maybe like what their favorite color is or aesthetic things that they're into, so I can kind of add that into their product. Because once again, we can make this product specifically for this person and their aesthetic tastes. Okay guys, I hope you seeing how I went about my research process has helped you moving forwards with yours. I think the main thing to take away from this whole process is that any topic, no matter how mundane it might seem at first, there will always be one thing in there that you will find personally interesting. You just have to take the time to find it. For me, it was looking at the really cool intricate mechanisms within 3D printed prosthetics. And for you, it might be something completely different, but it just shows you that taking that one spark of inspiration can then lead you down all of these other insights that I've shared with you during this video.